Hello, everybody, and welcome to Virtual Bourbon. My name is Steve Akley. We are going to have a fun event tonight. We are going to be having the Battle of the Bloody Butcher Corn. Now, this is an interesting one because of a couple things. First of all, I also heard from another distiller who wanted to know why their product wasn't in here. So, that Bloody Butcher Red it's rare, but there are more than one that does this. So you hear about the one in the Kentucky one probably more than any. That's probably, but we've got one in Missouri here, which is going to be interesting. I'll talk about that in just a second. And then one right across the river, Stumpy's in Illinois. So we've got some good representation here in the St. Louis metro, so which is kind of cool. And a person here, Gary Heingardner, you see him there. He bought a ticket for this event. So Gary is going to be part of this. He's going to go through the tastings with us. He's a regular participant, just like everybody else, even though he has a distillery. He, was one of the early ones to use this. He may tell a story later where one time he did a battle. He's done this battle before and came out on top, right, Gary?
Well, we did different. And yeah. This is my background. I pull up a picture of Bloody Butcher corn to bring along tonight.
Okay, nice.
That's what corn looks like.
Yeah. So Gary, since you're here, I mean, you weren't officially part of the event and that wasn't planned, but since you're here, why not? I mean, there's nobody who knows more about corn in general than Gary Heingardner on Woodhead Spirits. So Gary, tell us a little bit about this corn and why people are starting to utilize it in making bourbon.
Well, Bloody Butcher has been around a really long time. I mean, it goes all the way to the turn of the century. In fact, if it goes back to Pioneer Seed Company, their first commercial hybrid was sold in 1919, I think. I wasn't prepared to do this numbers thing, and one of their first crosses they sold, which brought $1 a pound in 1919, was a variety called Copper Top, and one of the inbred lines was Bloody Butcher, and so it's been one of the foundation seed things for a lot of commercial production clear to this day.
Right.
But it's no longer in any commercial production for starch production. It got dropped a long time ago, but it's one of those things that, the early people used a lot of Bloody Butcher. Sometimes it's doing a marker. On my grandpa's day when they did husking bees, they'd always plant a little bit of Bloody Butcher, and whoever found a red ear got to kiss his girl. It's like finding a marble in a cake or whatever. And husking bee, they're not really pretty boring events, but and a red ear was pretty kind of a spicy thing to find. It's been used in the Amish and Mennonite community for all these ages, and that's kind of where I start was from. An Amish guy that makes it Ezekiel bread out of.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody knows Ezekiel bread and the recipe that's in Ezekiel. That's the corn that they added for that. So it's in the background all the time, but it's starting to come out in the foreground in the whiskey business because it's just got some pretty special characteristics, which we're going to find out here.
Yeah. Because you work with so many different varieties of corn. It's interesting that this is one that you utilize to make some of your key products. So it has to have some characteristics that you really like as a distiller.
Yep. Well, I'm anxious to see what you guys say.
Okay.
That's the reason I got a ticket here.
Yeah. When we get to Bill, he'll give you his he'll tell you how it is. So that's for sure. So watch Mr. Bill. He's done it before when we had guests on. So, but this is completely blind. The one that Bill did wasn't even blind. He just threw it out there. So this is an interesting one. We'll be talking about it blind. And let's grab our first one. Let's go ahead and pour B first, though. Let's put B in the glass. We're not going to be talking about
the glass, not A.
Put B in the glass. A should be already in the glass. We'll put that right before we got started. So A should be in your glass. Once you get B in the glass, grab A, and that one should be ready to taste and talk about. We'll do this like we normally do. We'll do nosing and tasting notes. Nosing, we just kind of throw it out, and then tasting, we'll run through the group. I think because we've only got 3 to taste tonight, I think we can get everybody involved in the tasting notes. So, all right. What do you think about this one on the nose?
To me, it's got a nose kind of like a rye, maybe like a medium rye bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
I get like a fruit, maybe a little bit citrus.
Yeah.
I get a hint of like a dark stone fruit.
Dark stone fruit. Okay. Okay. As we're continuing to nose, I'll throw that question out there from Kent to Gary. What's the difference between Bloody Butcher and Jimmy Red? Jimmy Red.
Depends on who you talk to.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to Highwire, Jimmy Red is a unique thing that they salvaged from 2 or 3 years and propagated it, and they tout that as the red corn. I've grown Jimmy Red and made White Dog out of it. How much you guys want me to talk?
Go ahead. If we ask you a question, we want you to answer it. So.
Well, it's different, and I'm not going to talk down on Jimmy Red. You know, they're pretty proud of that. It's not the one I grow, and not the one I started. And we have selected our Bloody Butcher. You know, we're on our 6th or 7th year of production of Bloody Butcher, and we say back what we think is the best years to have the best flavor profile that for us. And so every year we accentuate our own profile a little bit. And the same thing happens with Jimmy Red. You know, they're going in one direction and we're going another. Neither one of us really know where we're going eventually, but you're going to part ways a little bit and select the corn for what you got going. They're both res. There's a research project out there that hopefully I'll be part of, and we're going to probably get some chemical analysis and some HPLC stuff done, and then we'll know scientifically what the difference is. But until then, we really don't know. If you had any Jimmy Red, say from Highwire, we could have put that in there tonight, and I will say this, you would immediately know which one it was.
Yeah. Back to this one on the nose. I mean, as it kind of sits here, it's kind of picking up some smoky notes, I think, on the nose. Is anybody else getting that?
Are you on A or B?
A. We're on A.
I actually went back and nosed it again and started getting like a big cherry flavor, almost like a Luden's cough drop.
A Luden's, okay. All right. All right, let's taste this thing. Let's see what we got here. Let's talk, and we'll talk some taste. All right.
Syrupy.
Yeah.
I get that cherry again. I get like a black pepper on the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like sticks right in the back of your throat.
Yeah. Yeah, for me too.
Almost actually not black pepper, more like a peppercorn. It's like, or if you grind your own peppercorns up, sometimes like a bigger chunk will get out and it'll like kind of get stuck in your throat or whatever. It's like that peppercorn finish for me.
Yeah, very spicy. Yeah. James, what do you think about this one as you taste it?
I definitely get that pepper on the finish. The first sip, I just got a mouthful of caramel, but then that went away and I got more fruit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kent, how about you, man?
Spice and caramel and vanilla.
Caramel and vanilla. Okay. That don't sound bad.
But definitely spice.
Definitely spicy. Yeah. Yeah. It kind of sticks with you too. I mean, it kind of remains a little hot there. Kent Mace, what do you think?
Tastes like whiskey.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That stone fruit, whenever Melanie put that in my head, it's sticking there.
Yeah.
And I get the little bit of cherry. I'm getting a little bit of the oat taste as well.
Oat, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Justine, your next one on my screen.
On the nose, I don't know, it was a little confusing because at first like it's kind of like a saltwater taffy. But then when Melanie said that, like I kind of about the stone fruit, I kind of got kind of like a prune
Yeah.
nose. Taste is like smoked cherry wood, and definitely agree with Wes about the black peppercorn.
Black peppercorn. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Bill?
Well, on the nose, it kind of knows like it was mixed with something. It wasn't all Bloody Butcher,
Uh-huh.
but on the taste, it was all Bloody Butcher.
Mhm.
It did have a little bit of a Luden's taste in the background and a little pepper, but all in all, I like it.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Danny?
I'm picking something else up out of it, but I can't describe what it is that I'm smelling.
Yeah.
It's really odd.
Someone may hit it though, and then you'll know. In the witness protection program, Eric Johnson, the Iowa one.
I apologize for my backlight here, but I
No, it's good. It's good. I wish your voice was like altered too.
How do you know it's not, Steve?
Right. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I've been doing it all this time. Hey, I had a very generic sort of spicy taste that was predominant, and I like how Wes described back of the tongue peppercorn. I think that's exactly how I'm getting it.
Yeah, well, every once in a while, to Wes's point, you get one of those peppercorn surprises, like you bite it, and that's when you really get that spice. And yeah, same type of sensation, I would say. Jack with the exclamation point at the end.
I think.
Are you excited tonight? Why is the exclamation point? That's not normally on there.
It's been there since I started.
Okay.
I get a red licorice.
All right.
Maybe kind of, and then it just goes full speed cherry all the way down.
Okay.
And I really like it. So I even poured the high wire just for comparison purposes. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Doing a little science there. Nate, how about you, man?
I thought it was cherry on the nose. I thought it was cherry going down. But I mean, it is really spicy, like everyone else has talked about. And so I think it's a lot of times whenever you get a lot of cherry, you get a lot of sweetness with it. But this is, all the spiciness. I don't think I'd call it like a cherry bomb or anything like that. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Let's check in with Melanie Robinson.
I really don't have too much to add. Mostly the dark stone fruit on the nose. It is kind of peppery up front, and then a little syrupy, but it's also kind of dry. It's not a real sweet syrupy. It's just kind of a thick, viscous feeling.
Okay. Mr. Neal?
Yeah, on the taste, I definitely get the stone fruit comes through with a little bit of honey, and then it stops with the peppercorn right at the back.
Gotcha. Robert, how about you, man?
Yeah, I think basically the same two that everyone said. I think the cherry and the spice.
Spice, okay. Mike, anything else to add on to that? Any of that?
I think it's all been said by now.
Okay.
I did get a little bit of that smoke flavor.
A little smoke, yeah. I definitely get that in there. So, Sean, last but not least.
All pepper all the time.
Okay.
That's primarily all I get. So.
Okay. We will come back around to it because these things do tend to evolve a little bit. So let's put A aside for now. We're going to talk about B in a second here, but let's pour C because we like pouring one ahead. So C will sit in the glass. And let's grab B once you get C poured and ready to go. On deck, in the on deck circle. Since we're in baseball season now, I guess. Oh. This one's definitely different. Vanilla puddingy and maybe nice
It's not quite creme brulee, but it's a little richer than the vanilla pudding, maybe with a little brown sugar.
Little brown sugar. Yeah, maybe a little caramelized brown sugar.
I get like a peach on the nose.
Yeah, no, I was going to say peach too, which is an odd combination with that, but
Yeah, I definitely get peach for sure.
yeah, I agree
Peach,
with
almost
you.
like a peach pie, you get a little bit of that kind of yeast baking dough along with a little spicy. But the more I go into this, it gets like heavy peach for me.
Yeah.
I get like a caramel icing, like on a jam cake.
Okay.
Once again, we're creating new desserts, the peach brulee. It's gonna
Peach
be
brulee.
tasty.
Yes.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
To me, I get honey, and then it smells like a waffle cone.
Waffle cone. Yeah.
I got that.
Mm-hmm.
Peach ice cream and a waffle cone. I like it.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
I'll sign up for
This
that.
will be the first time I've ever known something and actually got marzipan. I make fun of people for saying that.
But here you are. Now you're part of it.
Here's the marzipan.
Yeah.
Part of the conspiracy.
I noticed this one has a little bit darker amber color than the first one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
I was actually noticing you have A, B, and C in order of
darkness.
how light,
Yeah, I agree.
from lightest to
Yeah,
darkest.
I was thinking the same thing when I
The
poured.
one coming up is really dark. So yeah. This is it right in between. So, all right, let's taste this thing and then we'll run through, get some tasting notes over. Let's see what we got here.
Steve, you know what this tastes like to me?
What's that?
If I didn't have any idea what we were doing and you just gave me B blindly, this tastes a lot like the Dusty Dickel from our event.
Okay.
It's got like that heavy fruit.
Yeah.
But it's got kind of like a creamy, like savory with it. It's strange in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I tasted it, that's the first thing I thought of was that Dickel from the Dusty event we did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you definitely get the fruit in there, but you also get kind of the pie crust. So yeah, this is definitely sticking more along the lines of a dessert one for sure.
Yeah, I definitely don't get the peppercorn in the back of this.
Not the peppercorn spice. It does still warm up though. It does.
Yeah,
warm
it's
up.
got a nice hug to it, but it's not that like sharp, like, oh, there's peppercorn.
Yeah. Danny, how about you, man?
Oh, very good. I mean,
You like
I didn't
it?
get much tonight.
Well, I think I know why after last night.
Yep.
He's lucky to be alive.
So full disclosure, he passed out 2 times. So the first time it was on shows 4 and 5. We did 5 shows. We don't normally do 5, but I accidentally wrote 5 shows. So we did 5 shows. But on show 4, Danny passes out and he did one of these. So he's out again the whole show. He does one of these. What? Literally in the middle of the show, you hear Danny say, what? And snaps awake. So yeah, Danny was having a good time last night. Apparently he didn't eat a good dinner beforehand and got his drink on. So it's not recommended, is it, Danny?
Mm,
Those shows are real, aren't they?
yes, they are.
We're not fake drinking. There's, that's the real deal. So yeah. All right, Eric, what are your thoughts here as you taste this one? What are some of your tasting notes?
More than what it is not. It
Mhm.
doesn't sort of fall into the traditional bourbons that I like that are oak and vanilla heavy.
Okay.
It tastes younger, like it hasn't developed those barrel notes. But on the other hand, I rather enjoy how it has that sweet fruit to it, and it's an enjoyable drink.
Okay. It's a good, fair assessment. Nate?
It's kind of tough to put my finger on it. I think that there's definitely some of, I was thinking vanilla extract, but that doesn't seem exactly right. Because there's definitely some sort of, I don't know, burntness to it that's not like smoky. I don't know. I can't exactly put my finger on it.
Okay.
A sort of, I don't know, like earthiness. I think, I don't know.
Earthiness. Okay. Jack, what are you thinking, man?
I've definitely had the earthiness that Nate mentioned, and like it's burnt without the smoke. I don't enjoy it as much as the first, but it's a very unique kind of flavor. So
Yeah. Yeah. Robert, how about you?
So on the nose, I got, this is going to sound kind of really weird. But someone said marzipan and maybe they like almond extract.
Yeah.
There's actually like from my childhood, I remember very distinctly, like there was this, like Jergens, like soap. It was like cherry and almond was the scent of it. And I think that was the title anyway. And when I was smelling it, it made me think of that soap. But definitely on the palate, I do get like the earthy kind of smokeless smoke that I'm having a hard time kind of describing, that I think that the last few people were kind of struggling with. But it's kind of interesting. I like it.
Yeah. Mike, how about you, man?
I get kind of a, for want of a better term, kind of a greenness to it.
Okay.
Think of a younger bourbon, maybe about 3 or 4. Maybe that's kind of that earthy tone taste that you get. But I do, after tasting, I get the peaches that Wes was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with my marzipan on there too.
Okay.
It's definitely, I like it better than the first one.
Gotcha. All right. Well, they're improving. That's a good thing. All right, Jeff, how about you, man?
So I had to bail out and reset the internet. Sorry about that. We're doing tasting as well as
B. Yeah.
Yeah, B. All right. So
We're talking
I'm gonna
tasting
say
notes in it. Yeah.
the nose is very different than the first one, and actually I kind of didn't really like it. Put me off a little bit, a little acetone.
Okay.
And then when I tried it, it was infinitely better for my palate than the nose would give off. Got a lot of cherry. It's not nearly as spicy as the other one. Nice and smooth. It's smooth but not silky.
Yeah.
But really nice. I'd say cherry was the most distinctive thing I got.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Sean?
I'm going with earthy.
Earthy. Okay.
And I think I'm with Mr. Bill. I shouldn't have had Mexican before I tried this. Not a lot of cilantro, but
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently it's a bad choice.
Yeah. Well, it's not even Taco Tuesday, so yeah, there's a breach of protocol there. All right, Neil. We'll jump to Neil first, and then we'll talk to Melanie. Neil, what are you thinking?
I get the earthiness that everybody else does. The almond extract for sure. And I'm gonna steal this from Melanie. She said it's got a real honey mouthfeel to it, and I think that describes it really well.
Oh, Melanie, don't you hate when someone cheats off your work? Especially when they get to speak before you and they're using your notes. And now, Melanie, you're like, well, I got really nothing at this point.
That's all right.
And what else you got?
All the above. The spiciness that I get is like a baking spice. It's not a peppery spice.
Yeah.
And I think I really get a little bit of almost like a raw or green walnut, a very, very almost not quite fully aged walnut, not roasted or anything like that.
Okay, fair enough. Jump up to Mr. Bill.
People are talking about earthy or maybe a little green, and I'm picking that up. I really had to concentrate on getting that smell, but yeah, it's got a little bit of earthiness to it, and I'm cool with it. I like the taste of this better than the first one.
Okay.
Well, I like the nose on it too better.
Okay. All right. Justine.
I think everybody's pretty much covered it. I think I have peach stuck in my head from Wes. Kind of like peach cobbler.
Yeah.
But I definitely get the earthy too, but not in a bad way. Like it's good. I like it. I mean, it's almost gone, so I need to save some.
Yeah. Light earthy. Yeah, I think it is. So Kent Mace.
Well, Nate stole the earthy off of my list when I texted him. So
that's where you got it from. Okay.
The earthy, yes, but it's a green earthy to me. And maybe, and Melanie, I was real close with what Melanie said. And Gary may be the only one that gets what I say with this. It tastes like a green soybean. It's got that earthy greenness, but it's got that flavor. And the only reason I know that, I'm a dang surveyor and I'm walking out in the field. I grab stuff and I eat it. That's what I do. So,
okay. Yeah. All right. James.
So I'm with, I think it was Jeff. On the nose, it wasn't exciting to me, but it tastes better than I was picking up on the nose.
Okay.
Definitely got the almond. I'm really kind of liking this conversation about the smokeless smokiness, because one of the first things I thought of was like when you smoke paprika, it softens the pepper, but then it adds the smoke. And that's kind of what I get. I get that softer pepper on the taste without it being incredibly smoky. It definitely tastes better than it is on the nose. Better on the taste than the nose.
Okay.
And definitely the almond in there.
All right. And last but not least, Gary. What are your thoughts as you taste this one, Gary?
I'm not worried about what I'm not saying. I'm worried about who may be listening down the road and what liability I have with what I say. A little different perspective and maybe a legal liability position here that I probably not going to share a whole lot. I'm going to wait till we get done and maybe how about if I summarize? Would that be fair?
Sure. We'll have you summarize. You will be voting too, but you're going to vote very last for sure.
Okay, cool.
I think I'll even well, I don't vote because I know what they are. So yeah, this isn't one where I get to vote, but yes, we'll have everyone else vote before you. So you'll be the last one to do it. All right. On that note, let's put B aside. We will come back to it. And don't lock in your mind, because what you're going to be, you will be ranking these 1, 2, and 3. 1 being your favorite, 2 being your second favorite, 3 being your third of the evening. But don't lock that in right now, because we have found going through a second time, it does change. Even people who've been hard coded have been like, nope, I know this one's going to be the best. Sometimes they change, so don't fall victim to that. So, all right, our third one. Let's talk about the nose.
I'm totally thrown off by the nose. I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
I know it's really, really like really red in the glass.
Yeah.
Like when you think bloody butcher corn and you know what color it is what you think it comes out
That's
as.
what you think. Yeah.
Right. Deep amber there. So yeah.
Get kind of appley butterscotch.
Appley butterscotch. Okay.
I got fig.
Fig. Okay.
Kind of get a little pistachio.
Little pistachio. Okay.
Smells like Chinese food to me.
Chinese food. Yeah. I may be more along the lines with what you're saying. Chinese food didn't come to mind, but I was thinking more like a steak seasoning or something like that, more along the savory side. Everybody's saying all these sweet things. And I was thinking, for me, I was coming off on the nose a little bit savory.
Yeah, I have a spice in the cabinet. It's a mix. It's called steak dust, and that's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So yeah, when Nate said Chinese food, I was like, well, that's kind of more along the lines of where I was going with on the nose.
I get a little bit of what might be sage.
Okay. That's interesting. I just
you know what? I think the fig is exactly what it is. Whoever said fig, thank you, because I think I get that fig, and then I get like a yeast doughy, almost like a fig Newton kind of combination.
Okay, yeah, I'm old enough where I can probably say I like the fig Newton.
Yeah, I don't mind a fig Newton.
The kids don't eat the fig Newtons, but yeah, I do. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, I like them.
Kids don't eat anything.
They don't know what's good.
We'll go out on a limb here. Anybody else get boiled peanuts?
Boiled peanuts.
Yeah.
Do you like boiled peanuts?
Yeah, I get some type of nut. Like at first I was gonna say like a roasted peanut, but I don't, kind of like a,
Boiled, maybe boiled.
I don't know. It's some type of nut.
Okay, fair enough. The good news is there's a lot going on. I mean, we talk about this when there's a lot of different things. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for, a menu of different things. And that's why we love American whiskey. At least that's why I do. I like the differentiation that you get, and on a good one, Yeah. Some of them, not everything you try is good, but
Or maybe kind of like those, what are they? The Boston baked peanuts that kind of have that.
oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Shell, that like candy shell.
Yep.
that kind of,
Okay. Well, this is definitely an interesting one. Let's give it a taste and see what we got on the taste here. Again, there's a lot going on there. So
Really long finish.
Very long.
They're the
finish.
peanuts.
Peanuts, yeah. Peanuts
Got
are
peanuts
definitely
on
on
the
the
taste.
taste.
Yep.
Yeah. That's definitely there. Maybe with dark caramel, like there's different types of caramel coated popcorn, but like the Cracker Jack with the darker caramel on there versus some of the
Like
other
a toffee,
ones.
maybe?
Yeah.
I can talk. That's good.
Beer peanuts?
What'd you say? Beer peanuts?
Yeah, beer nuts.
Yeah, the beer nuts, yeah. I could see that.
Get like something really savory. I can't figure out what it is.
Yeah, there's definitely sweet and savory notes on the taste. So
kind of like a corn nut.
corn nut, yeah. Yeah, I like corn nuts too. Again, I don't know that the kids today are on the corn nuts, but we certainly liked them back in the day, right?
That's why we don't invite them to these things.
Exactly. Our references when we start talking all these old chewing gums, fruit stripe gum and stuff, they're like, what is that? So yeah.
Just take a time machine and travel 30 years in the future and see what 50 and 60-year-old people are saying whiskey tastes like.
Yeah.
Pop rocks.
Pop rocks. All right, let's go through and let's ask some tastings. Jeff, I'm going to start all the way down with you. What are you thinking here as you taste this C?
So this one is really caught me off guard. The nose was very different, and maybe it's because I've been working outside all weekend, but I got wood bark.
Wood bark, okay.
I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I got on the nose, and then the taste is very different than the nose. Again, this is a really interesting thing because this is two now where the nose and the taste are very different. So, which is pretty cool. And I got a lot of buttered popcorn on this, which sort of stands out with some stuff I've tasted before. And I like this one a lot. And the mouthfeel is also nice. It's kind of a middle ground between A and B on mouthfeel.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to jump up to Kent Mace, have him share his notes.
Corn nuts.
Corn nuts. Yeah,
but
Justine
a really late kick on it as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wes, anything else you want to add?
Sorry about that. I was on mute. No, I'm still trying to work my way through it. There's still something that I get that I just cannot pinpoint, but I'll keep working through it.
Okay. And maybe someone will say it. Justine, you've already talked a little bit about taste. Anything else that you want to add on there?
No, I kind of it's got good heat on it. The aftertaste, it's kind of almost got like a coffee type aftertaste, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Bill?
On the nose, y'all remember there used to be these unsweetened licorice candies that were kind of twisted up. It was kind of like a little rope that was twisted.
Yeah.
Anyway, to me, I'm getting that on the nose.
Okay.
I like it. I don't know. It's unique. I'm digging it.
Okay. All right. We're going to skip Gary. Gary's going to do a summary at the end after everyone's voted. He'll summarize and then he'll vote. So we'll do something special with Gary since he is a distiller of one of these. All right, James, what are your thoughts?
I'm still getting so I have this question, and it's the funny question, right? What are the proofs on these? Because this one's tasting a little hotter than the rest of them.
Yeah, I did not write that down, so I don't actually know. I don't have the bottles.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm still getting the peanuts. I definitely like it. It's got some fruit to it. Yeah, corn nuts.
Corn nuts. Okay.
Corn nuts. We're gonna keep coming back to corn nuts.
That's been
but in a good way.
Recurring one thing. Yeah. Well, Jack, we'll jump over to you.
I definitely sign up with the corn nuts group, but it's got like a coffee finish. Was it Justine who said that? I thought that really kind of it lingers and lasts, which is I think very, very interesting. So
yeah. Nate, how you doing there, man?
Yeah, so it's sweeter than I was expecting after, thinking it smelled like Chinese food. And I wonder if maybe I eat a lot of cashew chicken whenever I eat Chinese food. So I wonder if maybe I'm getting some of that nuttiness that everyone else is talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
I think, people talk about the heat on this. Yeah, it does have some heat, but I think it has the smoothest finish out of all the three. Because it's not like some of these other spices just so biting, but this is just kind of a, it's a longer finish, and it has heat, but it's nice and smooth. So
yeah, it's not hot to be hot. It's hot that adds to the experience of drinking it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Eric, the Iowa one. I just want to remind everyone he is the Iowa one since we can't see him. Lest anybody think he's the Kentucky Eric Johnson.
The Kentucky one would not like the comparison, I'm sure. I don't have anything to add.
Okay.
Then what I appreciate most is the impressively long finish here.
Okay. Yeah. Another one. All right. Danny, how about you? What are your thoughts here?
I'll have to agree with the corn nuts and buttery taste.
Butter. Yeah. Buttery corn nuts. Yeah. We'll take it. All right, Robert.
I pretty much agree with everyone else. I think, like umami is the biggest, I think, just flavor for me.
Okay.
And then I definitely some sort of like nuts. I think cashews, maybe. I honestly, my first thought was kind of like pistachio. Maybe just like a little bit of a hint of the fruit, kind of, it kind of reminds me of that. And then definitely like the coffee kind of nutty finish.
Yeah. Mike, what are you thinking?
This one again, it tastes a little bit green to me. I get kind of a grassy note that is usually with a younger aged bourbon. Other than that, Justine, I think hit the nail on the head with corn nuts when she said that. It was just like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm tasting.
Yeah, she did really. I think she does good on all these things, but yeah, I think she really summed this one up good with the corn nuts with coffee finish. That's good. You'd never think that. You never walk in and think I'm going to put this together. It's going to be corn nuts and a coffee finish, but that's what we got going on. So I like it. Sean, how about you, man?
After Bill said the licorice, I definitely get that on the nose. That makes complete sense now. Because I was like, there's something there and I know what it is, but Lord only knows what it is. And Bill finished that. And yeah, I think I definitely get the coffee and corn nuts. So
yeah. All right, Neil, what are you thinking?
Look at my notes.
Not only you got to be like this. Remember in grade school when you did have that kid cheat, you'd have to really cover.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
I still get the boiled peanuts on the nose, but the corn nuts definitely. And somebody said cashew chicken. That's right in there for me.
Yeah.
It's got a great finish.
Yeah. Anybody knows my buddy Tim Barton? He comes to some of these events and stuff like that. We were in math class together, and I saw him cheating on me, and I covered up. And then I felt a poke in my back, and then he handed me a $10 bill, and then I uncovered. If he's dumb enough to cheat off me in a math class, he deserves whatever happens to him at that point. Yeah, definitely not my strong suit, but yeah, Martin, he was something. He was something. All right, Melanie, what are your thoughts? Anything else?
Sorry, you turned me off.
Oh, okay.
I definitely get the fig on the nose. I think for the palate, it's like a strong coffee, black coffee with almost a burnt caramel, but not a bad way. A dark caramel flavoring in it.
Yeah.
And the corn nuts, I agree with, but as long as they're not salted, I don't get anything like that. It's just that toasted corn flavor.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Jeff, anything else you want to add as the last one on here? On C.
No, I think I made myself memorable by comparing it to wood bark. I'll just leave it at that. But I really appreciate the licorice and the corn nuts. That
helps. Yeah, that's what's good. Yeah, going through with the group, and when someone says something, there's some that you might be like, I don't get that, but then when someone hits the right one, it's like, yeah, it's good. All right, what we'll do next, we'll go through a second time, not calling on anybody. So this is going to be a little bit the kind of the flyover. So it'll be we'll talk nosing and tasting notes, but the only way you can get something on the record is to just say it as you do it. So we're going all the way back to A. So put C aside, and we'll come back to it in a second. But we will talk about A, because these things do evolve or sometimes devolve depending on. And then sometimes we go back and it's kind of the same. Anything different someone's getting on the nosing notes they want to talk about?
It's all cherry Luden on the nose and fruit, and then peppercorn in the back on the finish to me.
Okay.
I get a little confectioner sugar on the nose.
On the nose. It seems to me like the nose is a little stronger than it was. So I'm noticing that.
I didn't smell the pepper. I didn't have the pepper on the nose before, but now I do. Like before I just had it on the taste, but now it smells more peppery.
Peppery, okay.
But I agree with the cherry too.
Yeah.
I'm all of a sudden getting Granny Smith green apple here.
Granny Smith green apple, okay. I don't think that was mentioned before, so that's interesting. Sounds like a good thing to evolve to. All right, let's taste it. Last taste on A. Let's see what we got here.
It's not as peppery this time around, but I get more smoke this time than I did the first time.
Yeah.
Kind of has like a cola finish.
Yeah.
Like a flat top kind of.
Yeah, kind of there is kind of a cola element to it, almost like a cocktail. Yeah, interesting. Anything else on the taste on A you would like for the official record?
Not as peppery.
Not as peppery. Yeah. Yeah. I will say, going through the first time, I felt like this was the sharpest one in terms of heating up. It seems to have kind of lost that and leveled out some. It doesn't really have that bite to it, so it's definitely smoothed out a bit. So time has been overall pretty good to this one, I think. I think so. All right. Let's put A aside. It is now in the record. If you say anything else about A, we're going to have to strike that from the record. That will not count in our final judging. It's all very scientific. All right, B is next. Let's talk B. Also smells pretty good.
It's still peach pie to me.
Peach pie, yeah.
I get a tart fruit, like almost a tart apple.
Tart apple, okay.
It doesn't smell nearly as sweet as it did the first time.
Okay. Let's see how that holds up on the taste second time through. Let's see what we got. think Wes has got it with the peach stuff on this one. I don't know. It's very peachy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it really is or Wes is now just
your
locked in our
mind.
brain. Yeah.
In your
Yeah.
mind.
It doesn't matter at this point. Either way, everything is telling me there's a big peach taste there. What else is anybody getting? Anybody getting anything up besides peach? Peach pie? Really? So getting a couple of the things from the peach pie, I think there. This one kind of sticks with you a little bit on the finish, on the like the middle of my tongue. I mean, I do get a little spice there that just kind of hangs out and keeps going and going.
Syrupy.
Yeah. And it doesn't, it's not overwhelming, but it just stays there. It just stays there. So yeah. That's an interesting little side note there. Anything else on this one you would like to add?
Put a little bit of water in it beforehand.
Okay.
It obviously thins it out a little bit, but it's almost like this. There's a sweetness that gets separated off.
Okay.
Like in parallel now.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's kind of nice.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. All right. Last but not least, let's grab C. Same exercise here. Just talking nosing notes, tasting notes, just anything you want to add for the record here. Again,
Get more cherry on the nose coming back to it.
More cherry. Okay. This one is bold on the nose.
Yeah. The nose to me is all savory.
Yeah.
All spice cabinet type of thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting too. I'm getting a lot of
very earthy,
a lot of spice cabinet. And some of those, mixed ones, like I said, they're more along the lines of steak that has a kind of already mixed together for you.
I get that licorice that someone mentioned earlier. Now, I think that was the
Mr. Bill, I think was the first one to say that.
Yeah, on the nose, it's not. It's I don't know. Maybe it's not quite licorice, but maybe it's like a fennel or something like that. But
okay,
it's not sweet licorice. I know it's hard to explain, but it's not a sweet. It's like a savory.
Yeah, Bill kind of said that too.
It's the black licorice.
Yeah, there you go. It's the unsweet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was missing. I couldn't pinpoint it.
But it's interesting that you say fennel, because now that's what I pick up in the taste.
I get that a lot in rye. I also get licorice in a lot of rye. And so I think it's where my mind goes to.
Yeah.
This and the fennel are pretty similar.
Yeah, exactly. That was the other part of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Anything else someone would like to add to the official records?
Go ahead.
To me, this tastes more like a Bloody Butcher that I've had a couple different places than any of the others.
Okay.
I think the savory note that I couldn't figure out earlier when you guys were talking about Chinese food, to me, it's a savory, almost like a soy sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that umami
what I'm
that
getting
we were
on the
talking about.
palate. Yeah, that's what I'm getting on the palate.
Like the Bourbon Barrel Foods one, though. So it's been aged in.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that's it. But it's very.
Maybe there was a partnership with Matt Chamey behind the scenes. None of us knew.
Boom. This is umami and soy sauce and almost mushrooms.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, I agree. Very savory.
All right, so here's where we're at here. We've gone through these 2 times. Everyone's participated in terms of nosing and tasting notes. We've all had some input as to what we think these are. Now is your time. Now I give you just a little bit of time. All you need to do is rank these 1, 2, and 3. So which one was your favorite? Which one was your second favorite? Third? Just make your list of 3. I'll give you some quiet time where it'll allow you to work. Do your compare and contrast. Taste these side by side. Whatever you need to do to get that list 1, 2, and 3.
We're voting on what we like the best. Is that what we're voting?
Yes, yeah. That's how you're ranking them, your favorites all the way through 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then I will go over to the spreadsheet and I'll need you to call that out to me. And I'll call you and then yes, give me your ranking. That's how we do that. It's a different screen. I can't see you at that point. So, and if you type it in there like Jeff has, you're going to have to say it anyway. So you're just doing extra work, but that's okay. That's okay. Because I can't flip screens. I'm not that smart. I can't. That's why it's so hard to believe Tim Barton copied off me in high school. Yeah, that's not a good move.
I need
He's
to
lucky
get
he
you a
made it out.
second monitor.
Yeah, well, no, I don't like that stuff. It's too corporate for me. I'm not a corporate guy. I called my insurance agent to set a meeting this week, and she said, well, let's do a meeting before the meeting so we know what we're going to talk about in the meeting. I said, I'm not doing the corporate thing. We'll have the meeting, and that's it. You get one meeting. That's it.
So she was going to text you to let you know she's going to text you. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I got to deal with that in my life with Danny. I got to text Danny before I text him. So let him know that I'm going to text him per his rules. But that's the only corporate thing I do these days. Yeah, I never had two screens, but I was a sales guy, so salespeople don't have that stuff. So
hey Steve, I had Barnes Hospital call me today to try to set up a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
And they go, we do nothing but virtual stuff. So you don't have to come into the office. She goes, are you familiar with Zoom?
Yeah, I'm on there about 3 nights a week.
I go, yeah, for the last 2 years, 3-4 nights a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably know Zoom better than anybody in your office.
True. I was over at the Legends house today hanging out. We cracked out only the high dollar stuff. So yeah. We went to all his high dollar stuff. So yeah, it's things you can't even buy. He had to know someone to get a bottle. Then we got Jason Fruit's sweet corn, cost $300 a bottle. And then we what else did we drink, Rick?
Peerless.
Yeah. Oh, he was doing legendary things, of course.
Legendary things.
That's all he does. Yeah. Yep. All right. Has everybody got their list? Anybody need more time? Okay. I'm going to move over to that spreadsheet again. I only have one monitor, so I'll call out. This is the list that you happen to be on the spreadsheet, not in any particular order. So, Bill Lewis, you're first, man. What's your ranking for this evening?
So B, A, C.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bravo, Alpha, Charlie.
Okay. The first way is actually easier for me, not being in the military myself. Jeff, you're next.
Sorry, I sent it to everybody by mistake. I was first is B.
Okay.
And C, then A.
Okay. All right, Jack, you are next on the list.
I was going to be difficult and like A Bass, but after the second round of tasting, I'm going to go with B, then A, then C.
Let's see. Okay. Neil Robinson.
A, B, C.
A, B, C. Okay. Melanie Robinson.
I did not copy. I think these are all good. And it's like comparing apples to oranges to grapes is, so because I had to rank them, I did ABC, but I don't know that I really had a definite favorite. They were all very good.
Okay. Literally all tied, but we made her give a ranking. So she did ABC. All right. Rick Brenner, you're next, man.
I knew what they were.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I can still tell you what my ranking
is. No. That's not fair. James, you're next.
C, B, and A.
C, B, A. Okay. Kent, you're next.
C, A, B.
C, A, B. Okay. Nick. Robert.
That's me, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's how you're always friends. Sorry. That's how you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing.
I get the same thing. Yeah, because I go by my middle name, and I know how it is. So
right, I got my first name at work, but my dad and Nate call me Nick, so it's hard.
Right.
I would also say cab, CAB.
CAB. Okay. All right. Nate.
Yeah, B is last for me.
Okay.
I almost put C first because of the finish and the mouthfeel, but I just like the flavor of A better. So
okay.
ACB.
ACB. Okay. Gary, I'm going to skip you. You're next on my list, but I'm going to skip you because we're going to have you go last. Eric Johnson, you're next.
BAC.
BAC. This is actually very close, guys. Very, very close. Mike, you're next.
I am going to go BAC.
Okay. All right, Wes.
C was the most unique, but for my palate, I'm going BAC.
BAC. Okay. Sean.
ABC.
ABC. Okay. Danny.
CBA.
Okay. Justine.
BCA.
BCA. Okay. Did I miss anybody besides Gary? I know we haven't talked to Gary. Okay, Gary, you want to give us a synopsis and then we'll get your ranking.
So I think I know what they are,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Right.
But I'm not sure you want me to tell you what they are. But there's really one clarification, and I asked you this just before we started, Steve, to which one of our Bloody Butchers is represented here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you got a whiskey and not a bourbon here.
Okay, that's a possibility.
And it's 124 proof.
Mm.
And so some of the things that people are picking up on probably were misled because of the higher proof. Because when you do 124 versus 100, you're going to pick up fire, burn, long-lasting taste, and a few things like that. So I think I'm really happy that a lot of people were picking up some of the flavors, the Bloody Butcher.
Right.
Consistently the spice, but not the pepper spice. You know, different people hinted on that. Yeah, it's a spicy, but it's not a pepper spice. It's a rounded spice. In Indian cuisines, they say a masala, or the lighter, the mid-range palates, spices, so to speak. A long finish. And when I tell people about Bloody Butcher, one of the significant things we talk about is the long finish. Some people picked up on the rye kind of a concept.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about that a lot. It's kind of like a rye, but it doesn't grab you in the cheek, but it hangs on there forever. Long finish. That's real characteristic when we talk about people. But the wood bark kind of caught me a little bit off thing, but I was really interested in how many people come up with the corn nuts.
Right.
It really hits it. I think that hits it right in the middle, right in the mid palate. It's not the smoothest whiskey up front. And if you look at behind me here, that's a Bloody Butcher ear. That's one of ours. There's red kernels and blue kernels on there. And your blue corns tend to be real smooth up front with a short finish on the back. And your red is not so short on the front, but has a really long finish. And so our Bloody Butcher tends to have big in the middle, really long finish. I was really interested in how you guys come up with some of these tastes. That fascinated me, especially the figs, because I think that hits ours, which I think I know which is ours. I'm not sure. And the mushrooms. Having said that, we got 3 Bloody Butchers, but they were grown in states. And who knows how they were handled? And did they get moldy? Was it high temperature? Was it high moisture corn when they put it in? And how long did they hold it in the bin? We all got corn from different sources, and that corn could affect our taste and what we're tasting just because the way it was handled, and not because of what kind of corn it was. So I have my opinions, and I kind of formulated some of these as we went along here, but I think you guys hit it right on the head. I really felt like that most of these characteristics in terms of taste and smell first of all, I think Bloody Butcher is one of the least aromatics, least nose sensitive whiskeys we make. It's all in the mid to late palate. To me, we just don't get a lot of nose. It just doesn't stick out there as much. And that's kind of characteristic of Bloody Butcher to me.
Right. Right.
So what else do you want me to tell you?
No, I think that's good. I think we'll talk this afterwards. We don't need you to vote because I'm looking at it. We won't put you on the spot to vote because it doesn't change anything. No matter what you vote, they're spread out enough that one person voting will not change the scores. So no need to do that. So yeah. So you don't have to vote. So that's okay. I will say this. In third place, and you come in and you get the feedback, and I think there was a lot of good stuff there. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of surprised how it ended up based on how the discussion was going. But in third place was Wood Hat, so 26 points. Wood Hat came in third in our voting tonight. That was C. In second place was with 30 points was A, Jeptha Creed. That means the winner of the evening with 34 points was B, Stumpy's. So that's how it went. There you go.
In that regard,
we had three choices, and not everybody can be one, But
right.
I enjoyed all of them.
They're all good.
They're all good. Difference
right
between the three.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
I mean, in taste there was, but not in space of the
quality of the whiskey. Right.
Yeah. But you had one whiskey and two bourbons, and the whiskey was 123.5 proof, as opposed to the others are 100. That really changes your tasting notes.
Yeah. I don't think I've got those bottles. I don't know exactly where they're at. I'm not sure.
Bottle is.
It looks like this, doesn't it, Steve?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that's.
Gary,
we never.
Gary, just for the record, Nick and I, Robert and I, we had you pegged.
There you go.
Well, that's what I thought it was when I tasted it. I thought, oh my God, this is our Bloody Butcher, not our Bloody Dapper. This is our corn whiskey at 123. Somebody said it tastes a little fiery. Well, it's hotter. It's going to match some of those things, in particularly, but the finish is really long. But it's kind of spot on for what it is.
Yeah. Everyone, a lot of people either sent me a private message during the event, or they texted me if they got my text, and 100% of the text or direct messages were incorrect. Jeff, for instance, took 2 cracks at guessing which one was Jeptha Creed and missed it both. So if you get your third one, if we give you one more, you're going to guess which one was Jeptha Creed. You were that close. He says one, he says B, then he changes it to C later on, and then it was actually A. So yeah.
Gary, your Bloody Butcher is 100% Bloody Butcher, right?
Yes, it's 100% Bloody Butcher.
Yeah, I don't know about Adams. But Jeptha is a 4-grain bourbon.
Yeah, and it's a bourbon in a charred barrel.
Yeah.
And mine toasted barrel, and it's 100% Bloody Butcher. So it's been fun, guys, but we're really not comparing apples to apples here in a lot of ways. But I'm really surprised at how well some people really zoned in on the differences there that existed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I picked right.
So Gary, yours doesn't have a secondary grain. It's 100% Bloody Butcher.
Right.
Okay. Well, and actually that makes sense. I think it was C, like I said, to me was extremely unique, and the uniqueness was it was all from the grain without the heavy barrel influence, which the other two had.
It's a toasted barrel.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's okay. That makes a lot more sense now, because the other two to me were similar, and you could definitely tell it was bourbon with just a different type of corn grain. But yours was super unique, and it was hard for me to pinpoint a lot of the flavors because I haven't had a lot of obviously 100% corn whiskey Bloody Butcher. So that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, well, Steve and I didn't really sit down ahead of time and talk about this. It was
Just
like,
blame it on Steve. That's what.
Just blame it on me.
yeah, there we go.
That's all you got to do.
But when I tasted it, I thought, holy shit, this is not our Buddy Dapper. This is our Buddy Butcher in here. This is 123 proof.
So I'll tell you, Gary, what to me was the best part of this, other than the opportunity. I've had the Jeptha Creed before, so the opportunity to taste your product and Stumpy's was just that brief conversation that we had with you, because I was thinking about asking the question, right? What makes a Bloody Butcher whiskey Bloody Butcher, right? So that's because I was curious. We all touched on that subtle spice without the pow of a rye. We talked about so I think that was what was really interesting, was sort of like, what do you get when you make a whiskey out of Bloody Butcher? Was, I don't know, for me, I thought a really cool part of this whole conversation.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
I think, and I'm, a producer and part of the deal, so I'm less than non-prejudiced about my answers. But I think, to me, C and B exemplify the Bloody Butcher characteristic more so than A. It kind of explains it. If A is a 4-grain whiskey, C, they've diluted the Bloody Butcher a little bit. And then I don't know about Stumpy's, but does he use wheat in his? I do on the bourbon side. Now on the whiskey, we don't put anything. So
right.
I was really surprised that most people, without knowing what it is, came up with some of the same tasting notes that we talk about here.
Right.
It's really good that you guys come up with those without having any.
It's a good group. They do good with this stuff for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a good.
I'm gonna start using the corn nuts now more.
Yeah. It's a good tasting panel. So yeah.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. So if you ever need us to.
Justine, that was yours, right? We're going to make sure Gary gives you credit for the corn nuts.
Yes. Absolutely.
I've actually made Bloody Butcher corn nuts before.
Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh man, we got to try that, Gary.
Yeah.
We're coming out there. We're coming out there in July. I expect a bowl of those to be out on the table.
There you go.
No.
Well, be sure and put the ADIs coming to St. Louis, and then they're coming to Wood Hat.
Right.
14th of September.
Right. I'm trying to get invited to that event. I'm not having any luck.
Right. Okay.
So if I knew a guy, I could get invited, but I haven't had any luck yet. I'm working on it.
You're coming, man.
All right, good. It's on my calendar. I mean, it's kind of sad. I put it on my calendar, like, I hope to get invited to something, but
we need to get you a hat that says Bourbon Press.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gary, have you made cornbread with the Bloody Butcher?
Oh yeah. He makes it with everything.
I made cornbread twice this week, actually.
Yeah.
That's one of our that's one we've just finished making cornbread and white dog out of all of our experimental varieties we're going to grow for next year. And so we had 10 different blue to blue red blues that we just got through doing white dog from and making yeah. We make corn a lot. If you make grits and cornbread, then you kind of know how the human responds to that. So that's not Bloody Butcher. That's a blue cornbread.
Yeah, that looks good.
Anthocyanins out of blue corn are really soluble in water and alcohol, so they just go everywhere. But we do a Dutch oven thing, kind of holds all the fumes in, and then you take it off and you get that essence. Kind of the same thing you get with a nose when you nose in the whiskey. That same thing will come out of cornbread when it comes out of the oven. And that's one of our main selective tools we use is cornbread.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we'll say goodbye to our at-home audience. I'm going to stick around. We can talk whiskey and all those type of things, share some fun stories. But for the official event, we'll say goodbye for now and see some of you tomorrow night. All right, here we go. Bye.